Thanks for everybody joining us in this webinar, and hopefully at the end of it you'll be really happy with what Phil and I discuss about how to become a successful football agent. So by way of introduction, I'd like to talk about what most people think about, about becoming a football agent. Because right now you speak to an average guy in the street, they say, look, I'd love to be an agent, but you can't get into that industry, it's impossible. And the great news is, we're here to tell you that's not the case anymore. Because in 2015, FIFA scrapped all the rules and regulations about becoming a football agent. And everyone and anyone, just like you, become a football agent today. But the biggest reason we're here today is that people just don't have the knowledge to become a football agent. And that's what we're going to help educate you about today. So this is where you can start your dream job. And right now, there are people out there, I can guarantee you, from this webinar, will start their journey and how to become a successful, ethical football agent. So what do we want from this webinar? We want you to be joining us at the end of it to become part of our community. And the goals from this webinar is that you get a piece of understanding about our 40 plus years of experience in the industry. And as I say, there'll be somebody, more than one person from this webinar, who's going to start the journey and make it as a football agent, where they'll get financial freedom and a career that they love, same as what we do. We love this job. Every single day we wake up thinking, what day is it? Because we don't know what day it is. It's not just because it's COVID, it's because we love the industry. And we want you to become part of our community, and we will be talking about the community that we're developing for people like yourself. And we're going to show you with our unique training program. So let's start to find out a wee bit about myself. Who is John Viola? A lot of people, some people out there might know me, some don't. But I come from a working class background. I've had so many jobs, from working in a bar to working in a pub and a building site. But I got into financial services after doing a wee bit of education in Australia. And I spent nearly 12 years, 10, 12 years in that industry, and I absolutely loved it. And during that period, I was dealing with footballers, some professional footballers, and that got me a wee bit of insight about what the business is all about, what it's like, how these footballers deal with agents. And one of my friends became a football agent, and I thought, well, wait a minute, I'd like to have a wee look at that. And that got me interested in doing a bit of background, just like maybe you've been interested just now to how to become an agent. And now, the story is I've been in it for 25 years, and I've dealt with some of the biggest names and the biggest clubs in the world. So why? Well, when I was in the insurance business, I found it was getting a bit boring near the end. It was getting stagnating. Just like some of you guys that are out there just now, maybe that's why you're on this webinar today, because where you are, you're stagnating in your particular job. And as I say, a friend of mine became an agent, and I thought, well, wait now, why can't I? But at that time, 25 years ago, when I was one of the first FIFA agents, at that time for me to join, I had to find £100,000 bond that I lodged with FIFA. I had to give them £100,000, and I had to set a test, a stringent test, and an interview to become an agent. And that was so difficult. 25 years ago, I don't really remember how I got the money together. I know I borrowed from my sister. If my sister's on, thanks for that, Margaret. And also, I sold a house. I sold a car that I loved. I'll never forget parting my money for that car. But I was so into becoming an agent that I made it happen. And just like you, I'm hoping you're going to start to make this happen today. Then I needed help because I grew so quickly. In the first 2 or 3 years, I was taking on a lot of players and dealing with a lot of clubs. And then I had to bring some other people into the fold. And this is where our panelists, other panelists, and my partner, Phil McTaggart, come into play. And just for the record, this is Phil and I having a chat way back. And we made an agreement when he was only 10 years of age. That's 30 years ago. We made an agreement that we will become partners sometime in the future. And believe it or not, we did. We're now partners and have been for a long time. And his family, just in case you don't know, Phil is my nephew. So that's a wee bit about me. I'd like to pass on to Phil, who will take you to the next chat about who he is, so you know who you're talking to.
Hello everybody, thanks for coming on, and like John said, that's me, the small kind of chubby guy in that picture, not the one with the big bad taste moustache. But as you can see, there's a Liverpool strip there, and obviously always been linked with some sort of success. And John, yeah, obviously when John was on his journey starting in an agency, probably about 4 years into that, he needed help. I came from a working class background myself, and I had a couple of jobs just when I left school. I wasn't really into the education side of things, and I left school and I was in the kind of banking sector. And when John kind of started picking up speed, he invited me in, and it must have been late, in fact, early 1999 when I first started in the office. Ultimately, just doing an apprenticeship where I was the office boy, I was a tea boy who was doing all the running about. Still, when I think about it, still doing elements of that just now, to be fair, but just getting to know the business, getting to know the people involved, and quite quickly seeing that I could strike up relationships with people, which was great. So from there, John being a kind of father figure to me when I was younger as well, I aspired to be like him, and I wanted to be the next young agent as well. So I started learning, and back then I had to go through an examination. John had to go through the bond, and I had to go through a stringent examination. And it must have been early 2002. I went to the FIFA examination at the headquarters at Hampden Park in Glasgow, and I failed it. I failed the examination, absolute disaster. I thought my world was ending because I'd built myself up to do this. But it gave me that urgency to then keep at it, keep doing it, because I wanted to get that licence. So 6 months later, you had to wait another 6 months. And in September time, I sat it again and I passed. And at that time in 2002, I was just over 21. I was the youngest football agent in the world. And it was a great accolade, a fantastic accolade for me, myself personally, and my family, and obviously to be involved with John. But it was only by name. I had to then get myself into the business. And one of the first tips that we had after that was in Brazil, and getting to work with players like Robinho and Kaká and Roberto Carlos. It was unbelievable. But again, still very young. I still had a big journey ahead of me. And I'm glad to look back now and say it's been successful thus far.
Can you hear us okay, Phil? Can you hear me? Because a couple of people are saying that the audio's a bit low. Can you hear me fine?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that being said, after the experience of that, and obviously John as well, we are 25JUN Football Consultancy. We're a boutique football agency, but with a global reach because of the experience that we've got. We've done transfers, we've done deals all over the world, and we'll try to work it out recently. There's probably been over 750 million worth of transfer business that we've done, including over 500 different deals at different levels, which in that period of time is absolutely amazing for a kind of family business. But as I said, the reach that we've got and the partners that we've got are different class. You'll see on the screen we've represented World Cup winners, Champions League winners, and even these accolades. Again, we've done that much business that we sometimes forget about what we've done. And you'll see there we broke the transfer record for a UK club, which was unbelievable at the time, and even the wage record for a Premier League club, just with the negotiation skills that we've got and the connections that we've got. And a big thing, obviously, back then was a big thing, especially for John, was bringing the Real Madrid player to the Premier League, which was a massive stepping stone into the next stage of the career as well. So the deals have been endless. I could be here all day talking about them, but that's just to kind of set the tone about who you are in our history. So how does this apply to you? You might be thinking, oh, wait a minute, 750 million worth of transfers, how does this apply to you? Well, like coming back to the previous slides, John and I started out just like you, working class background and different ways, doing different jobs. And we had the barriers were there, and we had to fight through these barriers to get into this position. But like John said, in 2015, FIFA changed these rules, which opened up this whole world in the football agency. Everybody and anybody could register to become a football agent, which just made it an unbelievable opportunity for people to access this business that they love, including yourself. So the big stumbling block still though is the education that people need, and that's why we are here. We are here to educate people like yourself on best practice, how to be a success in this business, and that's what we'll talk about today.
Okay, I'd like to come in here, Phil, and talk about what we're really going to cover, because this is the probably three main areas or pillars that we call them, is how you can become a successful agent. Three areas are identifying and recruiting players, and I suppose that makes common sense to everybody out there, you know, but I would like to discuss that, and how you can get involved and successfully get involved and maintain your relationship with big football clubs, because people have got all these conceptions about the football clubs and how to get involved with them, and being involved in the international market currently, in the modern football market. These are the three main areas. But when we're talking about these, if it's like any business, you know, you have to have a product and you need to have somebody to buy that product. And for us, we're talking, our product is football players, and we need to have somebody who wants the football players to be taken from a club. So right now, if you don't have successful relationships and don't have with clubs, and you don't have players, then you don't have a business. So you need both, and you need to learn very quickly how you can identify and recruit footballers, and also you need to learn quickly how you gain access to the football clubs, because without those two, then it's a non-starter. So that's why we talk about these two, and the international market being the three main pillars that we believe that you need to understand and learn from us to be able to start in this industry. So the biggest thing, right away, the first question is, like, I'd love to be an agent, but how do I identify and recruit footballers, talented footballers, professionals? Now, identifying them is part of the scouting and part of going to games and finding out where you can go and try and get involved with the football community as much as possible. But the biggest thing I say to someone right away when they're starting is, you need to network. You have to get yourself out there and let people understand that you're now in the football industry. You have to be, every time you're speaking to somebody, you have to let them know that's what you're doing now. You have to go on the net, whether it be on Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever it may be, and let people know you're now in the football agency business. You have to make access to footballers, and the way to do that is try to get to them face to face, game after games, over the phone. And these are all the things that, as we go along and within our course, we'll teach you how, the secrets of how to do that, because we know that's a big thing that people are concerned about. So one of the big misconceptions is, I'd like an agent, but you can't get to a footballer. And there's other things that people say to us, but there's not enough footballers out there that are needing representation. And then they say to us, look, you can't actually get to them. There's no routes and there's no techniques. How do I get to a footballer? And then you need to be in the business for 30 years or whatever to be able to gain access to those. But we're here to tell you that the real world and how that isn't the case, and to get rid of these misconceptions. There's 250 million players worldwide in 200 and odd countries. And believe it or not, players are open to people like yourself to represent them. Every player now wants a football agent. So there's a massive market out there. And of course, they like to choose agents, and we'll talk about this quite a lot, about the ones that I've got are transparent and they're super honest. That's the ones that we will be teaching. And it's based on people who have good relationships with people, not just the experience or people think they've got to have education. It's about relationship building and getting people to trust you. And we're here to show you how you can get into this industry and to do the job professionally and correctly. So I'd like to just tell you about a very interesting guy that came on our course exactly a year ago. In fact, it was last week. He reminded us on LinkedIn. Richie from Sunderland came on to our course a year ago. Sorry, done our online course, and the training program, he passed it really well, and he was really enthusiastic. And then after that, we did an access day where he came to meet us for the full day at QPR, and it was a fantastic day. He learned a lot that day, and he networked after that with the confidence that he gained from the course and the confidence from the access day. And because he networked successfully, he built up the confidence with players and clubs. And he put us on LinkedIn just a few days ago. It was amazing, saying, look, guys, a year in the business, I didn't know anybody. I went onto this course with full of enthusiasm, and now He's signed 15 clients and he's completed and done 11 deals. Unbelievable for Richie. And Richie, believe it or not, is actually still connected to us and doing business with us. And this is part of the key of the community we're talking about. Richie is one of the guys a year ago, didn't have one connection in football. He was to involve with an estate agency. And now he's in a situation where he's a year down the line, he's done 11 deals and he's got 15 new clients, which is amazing. In fact, I spoke to him just last night and he says, John, I've come into your area, I've done a bit of business with a club in Scotland and we had a good laugh about that. So well done to Richie. So the truth is, with the right knowledge and education and training and our unique training, anyone and everyone, just like yourself, can recruit footballers. And today, we are here to help you show how you can do that. So, Phil, next thing I'd like to speak about is how you successfully deal with football clubs, because at this moment in time, one of the biggest things that people say, okay, I've got the player, but how do I get to the clubs? And for us, it's a similar situation. You have to chap doors. You have to find out who at the club who makes the decisions. But not just that, it might be that you know a scout there or you know the chief executive, but you have to chap doors. It's like any new business. You have to let people know that you now have recruited these players. And when you've got those players, believe it or not, it's something positive that they will want to hear from you. So again, throughout the course of today and our course, we educate you about how you get into these clubs and be able to deal with them. And we'll show you the secrets about how that's done. Phil,
no problem. No worries. I'll take this one, John. If you go to that next slide, a lot of people, as I said, a lot of people think about it's difficult to deal with football clubs. It's impossible to find contacts for clubs. They're intimidating people. They're hard to approach. They don't want to talk to you, and that you can only go to people on your doorstep, really. Again, that football clubs are these big organisations that just operate in a total unique way. But at the end of the day, they're just businesses that you might be involved in just now, or you might be working alongside. So that's a lot of the misconceptions that people get about working with football clubs. But we're here to show you the real world, the real truth about that.
Phil, can I just give you something came to my mind there, right?
Yeah.
As I remember when I started at the very beginning, and I knew that a club was looking for a right back, and I said, right, I better contact the manager. I've got a great right back, enthusiastic gentleman. Oh, it's Brian Robson's manager. He'd just become the manager of this club, and I went, I can't phone Brian Robson. Brian Robson's one of my heroes. Manchester United stalwart. No way. England. No, surely Brian Robson up there. I love that guy. Once I got to him, got his number and chatted to him. I love that guy. I couldn't have met better. Fantastic than I could have believed. So open. He says, I'm looking for the right back. I'm glad you've called me. And believe it or not, we got that guy to sign. So that just came to my mind. I just remembered at the very beginning, and it was amazing. I came off the phone and went, wow, I've just spoke to Brian Robson. So basically, it's just to let people know that these people want to speak to you if you've got the product we call the players.
Yeah, totally. But you'll see that in the next slide. If we move that on, I'll explain that a wee bit further. That really, again, reiterating what you said, John, football clubs want help. They might have big scouting departments and managers and sporting directors and different stuff, but they need the help. They need new talent. They need to be informed about new people. And the doors, especially in the current climate, a lot of the doors are open because they know that the agents are out there. They know that there are people doing scouting, and they're happy to take this information from people. And then it's down to the individuals to then build that rapport with them. So it really is, once you get there, making that initial step and approach, it makes it that wee bit more easier. And when you build up that relationship, it's like anything, it's how you then develop that going forward. And lasting relationships, as I said, it can be for the next 10, 15 years, whatever that might be. And that's what we want to show people. We want to show people how to go from A to B, obviously quicker, without having to go through the time and money spent that we've done. But like that, I mean, even at football clubs just now, you'll get a manager, for example, at a club just now. He might move into another club. So if you've made a relationship with a manager at Chelsea, for example, then he leaves to go to a club in Italy. That's in somebody you can pick up the phone to him in Italy, and he's at a different club looking for different positions with different budgets. Likewise with sporting directors, likewise with scouts. It's about building relationships because unless these guys are at the club for their full career, 9 out of 10 of these guys are going to move along in their journey through their growth process as well. So always keep that in mind. It's good for new agents or new people learning that build the relationships, because you don't know where these guys are going to be down the line. And I'm going to say a wee personal case study of my own regarding working with clubs. It must have been about 10 years ago, just after the World Cup. I think it was in South Africa, and it was a player playing I'd seen on the telly, and just got wind of a wee bit of information of a club looking for a certain position. And after seeing this guy, I thought, I'm going to have a go at this. I'm going to make an approach. And the way I did it was I didn't even really know the club, to be honest. And the boy came from a club in Mexico. I didn't really know this club. I just opened up a bit of dialogue using Google Translate, of all things, via email. Found the right person to talk to, started developing a bit of a relationship. And it turned out that I actually brought this club to the table with this club in the Premier League. From there, I brought the two clubs together just by, I suppose, a skill set ultimately. They then spoke to the player spoke to his agent. It all came together, and I was in the middle with John. We were pulling this together, and just like that, just being able to see an opportunity, develop something, and bring people together like that. And from now on, both these clubs in South America and in the Premier League, been doing business with him since, likewise with the player and the agent. And it put me on that journey myself, even talking to Luis at the start. That was the start of my route to start speaking Spanish, because trying to do business via Google Translate just doesn't work. I'll tell you that just now. So you might be typing in one thing and something else comes up. So just be very careful about that, So I was just a wee personal thing about developing a relationship with clubs and how you can make them long lasting. But when I'm more student based,
what that case study, Phil, somebody just came up with a question, and maybe they're a bit concerned about who's this program for? I mean, who you teaching? And just very quickly, because a lot of people have asked, 2 or 3 people have said, well, and basically to get that one out of the way, this is for everybody and anybody, from the student that we've brought into the business, to the businessman, to the barman, to the doctor. We could go on and on worldwide. So this is open for everyone. Just that's 2 or 3 people have asked that question. I just want to get them comfortable in that right away.
Of course, no, fair play. Like, as I say, going back to the previous slide, we're saying it's open to everybody and anybody. That was just me, maybe just trying to get a wee bit in about how me not having a connection to a club, but how I developed that, and now I'm still working with these clubs, So, but if you look at that slide that's in front of you, this is a classic example of a student who's came on, done the course, been involved with John and myself in a very short period of time as well. And he had the same misconceptions at the start. He was scared about contacting clubs. He didn't know where to start or what to do. But again, with the right guidance and the right knowledge from ourselves and directing him, basically took him hand by hand and say, listen, this is the person to speak to. Go and do your research. Go and find a way to get in contact with them. And he came up with this light bulb moment, got in touch with the people, took what we said on board, started talking about players, and right now, Andrew named at the top, he's now talking to clubs at serious levels, where when the club's actually just been getting into the promotion situation as well. So he's buzzing. He just went from A to B that much quicker, just with their knowledge, and that's what we're here to share. So that's the truth. That's the truth of this matter here. With the right expertise, the right knowledge, it's so much easier to deal with these situations that you've got the misconceptions about, and that's what we're here to help you with.
All right, so I'd like to come in, guys, because this part we call Pillar 3 really resonates with myself, and I'll tell you why. Basically, we're talking about operating internationally in the modern football market, because people, again, have got these ideas that you have to stay where you are. In other words, we're in Scotland, and we have an office in Dubai as well, but we can only work from those areas. Or if you're in England, or if you're in Lagos, or if you're in Mallorca, it doesn't really matter. People think, when I've got to work from here. No, it's a wide market world. It's a situation where you can go anywhere with the internet just now. And I'm going to prove how that works and show you how you can do business worldwide from your office or your home or wherever it might be. So some of the big misconceptions are quite simple, that people think, oh, wait, I can't do business in that country because of the language barriers, and I'll come back to that. And the fact that you need to jump on a plane and travel around the world to go and see people. And there's been changes that with the COVID situation and Zoom, like we're on just now. And you need to know all these other countries around the world and how they operate and what's happening. And I'd like to tell you a wee bit about that in a minute. And people have got this big thing, and this is what I come across quite a lot, that people say, oh, they only want to deal you if you're from that country. And I'm going to show you how that certainly isn't the case. So when we talk about language barriers, the bit in business, the biggest language is English, and I know most people that are on this webinar today speak English. So you're well on your way when you're speaking English, and most of the clubs that I've dealt with in the last 25 years has someone at the club who can communicate with you, which is absolutely fantastic. And of course, when we're talking about the traveling situation, you can work from your own home and do business from your computer. And even more now, people are beginning to realize with the Zoom, the technology of Zoom, that you can speak to people all around the world, and we're speaking to people all around the world, and it's now happening. And one of the biggest things I found out really early, rather than me trying to do business, or Phil trying to do business in Mexico or Russia or wherever, that we looked to find foreign partners in that area, which we've got 14 now. And these partners, they deal with all the local knowledge, they deal with all the local culture. And we find that that's the way that helps us into the business in these different places. So we educate you how to find these foreign partners. And these foreign football clubs are delighted to deal with them. And I'll tell you, a big reason is because a lot of it's we're in the UK, and a lot of people want to come to the UK, but they really want to engage you. So you don't have to have the misconception, oh, I better not phone that club in Russia or that club in Germany. They are delighted to hear from you. So we decided to educate you and advise you how you can do this operation throughout the world. But I'd like to give you a wee story about like Phil likes his stories. I'll give you another wee one. We could see that years and years ago how the world was opening up. I'm talking about 15 years ago in this industry, and with the World Web, we decided, look, it's not all just about the UK where we were based at the time. But one great example is I met a student, a Venezuelan student, and he was just talking to me in general about doing business abroad. And he said to me, look, I've got a couple of players who I'm trying to move. And at that time, I was talking to a Saudi Arabian club who were looking for two exact positions. I remember well, it was a striker and a number 10. And we had all this communication with the clubs. Then all of a sudden, we had an agreement made between the Venezuelan club, the Saudi club, and me sitting from my office in Glasgow, or you from your home, wherever it might be. Now, we had all that deal all done over the net. I only had to appear in Saudi Arabia when we done the deal, which was magnificent. So what I'm trying to say is, from our office in the UK, that we've got through two Venezuelan players, taking them to Saudi Arabia. And believe it or not, on my way to Saudi Arabia, I stopped off in Istanbul and done a wee bit of business in Istanbul on the way down, which I fitted in unbelievably. So you don't have to be established, you don't have to be working from one area only and have the blinkers on. Away now, I'm in London, I can only deal in London. You can go worldwide. So the truth is, the internet has brought us all together, made it a smaller world. It's globalised the full industry of being a football agent. And everyone and anyone, again, like yourself, can do business across multiple countries. And again, that's the biggest thing I really love, and I'd love to show you how to do that, and it's within our programme. But just before we pass on, we've got a couple of wee pictures that I really love showing people. There's Phil when we thought it was going to be smart when we went to a press conference in Lagos. The one that you see him with the local gear on, it went down well. We had about 75 reporters in that particular press conference. And one of the funny things is I didn't know Phil was dressing up as a local. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting at this top table waiting. They're like, where's Phil? Where's Phil? Phil came in with the dress on, and they looked amazing, and the whole place erupted, and it started a fantastic chat about us doing business in Nigeria. We went on a tournament in a place called Ilorin, which is lovely, and we were looking at players in Lagos as well. And I know there's a lot of people on just now from Nigeria. And of course, a lovely picture of Phil, who thought, I think I'll never make it as a footballer, but I might become a referee. And a couple other wee pictures there that means something to me is that, I'm watching a game in Ghana in a national stadium. We've picked up some fantastic players over the years in Ghana. We've done a lot of work down there. And of course, another area that means a lot to us is, you see that in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, we're well established there with our contacts, and that's Craig Moore, who's an ex-player, who's now working alongside us, and that was when last year when we were doing business down in Brazil. So what we're trying to say is, it's not all about where you are, it's worldwide, and you can do it from your office or your home.
Let me get my wee bit in there if I can, because I like to get a wee bit to say. No, it's all right. The different slide is just when you're doing your agency business worldwide, you like to just learn some stuff in the local language, whether it's thank you or whatever, and just say to my Nigerian friends, Eshe. That's the wee bit of part of it we like to get in at the end there.
The only thing you can say in Nigerian language, Eshe, that's it, you love
Eshe.
that.
Or Oshe, if there's a group of them.
Oshe, or whatever you say it.
Listen, just if we go to that next slide, obviously, quick question before we move on. Is everybody enjoying themselves? I can see obviously loads of stuff in the chat, which is brilliant. But before we even move on to the next slide, just something I just wanted to pinpoint on is John and I, obviously successful football intermediaries agents, we worked at the highest level, but like anything, we didn't always start there. You've got to start at the bottom. And even just now, we're working at the highest level, but we always come across players in the lower leagues who are needing help and assistance. And it may be the lower league in England, lower league in Scotland, some boys playing non-league. These boys have got the potential to go to that next stage and they need the representation. So please don't think that you have to be right at the top. There's business in this at the bottom end. And even myself, I had a conversation this morning with a young lad playing lower league football in Scotland, but he can play above his level, and I've seen that in him, and I basically want to represent him, so I've approached him to try and do that business with him. So keep that in mind, guys, that there's business in there at the lower levels. It's a great way to cut your teeth. It's a great way to learn and build relationships. And again, these managers might be successful and move on to their clubs and their players as well. So please keep that in mind.
All right. So if you're enjoying it, can you put your hand up? Just a wee hand up if you're enjoying the webinar to see who's yeah, that's great. Love to see that.
What is it? The Gallo.
No, well, before we go into Gallo, just somebody's asked a question. He says, it's amazing, I'm really enjoying this, but I'm finding it a bit daunting. Here's where we're a wee bit different from everyone else. We're professionals that bring in people who think they can't get into this industry. And as I say, from students to barmen to businessmen or whatever it may be, it isn't daunting once you get our education, trust me. In the last couple of days on Twitter, I think it was 2 days ago, Odi Nagallo, who we know, Odi Nagallo has come out and saying, we talked about our webinar and we talked about our new website that we produced about 6 months ago. And he's come out saying, good guys, thanks Odi, good job, John. So we really appreciate somebody like a Manchester United player and a Nigerian international coming on the net and saying that for us. Thanks for that, Odin. This shows we've got people at a high level that understand that we're doing a good job. So, again, who wants to take this to the next level? Because this is really all about you guys understanding how to become a football agent. We've talked a lot about us. We've talked about what you need to do. I'd like to help you with Phil to show you how we can take the next level. And again, I want to see whose hands are up there. In the chat box, if you can raise your hand a bit, I can see who's the serious ones that allow who want to become agents, and it's nearly every single person. There's a lot of people there. This
is the exciting part. Again, you've heard about us, you've heard about everything else, but this is about us, our company, 451 Football Consultancy, ourselves, my partners, creating a community for you guys. And this is where we need to introduce you to what this is all about. The John Viola Academy Football Agent Pro membership. The membership being totally online, it's revolutionary. It's a training system for newbie agents. It's designed to fast track you guys into the industry to become ready-made sooner rather than later. All the credentials are there, all the tools are there. It's the best place to start.
But of course, when you start any business or you start any new job or you start in an industry, you want to know, okay, what are the rewards? You know, it's great if you go and put in all the effort which you would have to do. You go and recruit your player and you've got all the clubs interested, but you've now got the players and you've now got the clubs interested. What are you likely to earn? Because I think it's important that people understand you're not going to become an agent within a week of coming off this course, that's for sure. And we don't sugarcoat it, it's not for everybody. It's a difficult business, but those who make it will find it supremely rewarding. So we'll give you just a few examples of people who have earned, what's the type of money they've earned when they come into the industry. And for people who start at League One, which is, and again, we apologise for only talking about England at the moment. And this is online. You can go and check all this online. At League One, the average wage per week is £2,000. You may have seen it's a lot more or less, but that is the genuine average wage per week. And the commissions that you would earn from that would be a roughly, and again, roughly about 5%, and it would be roughly about £5,000 per annum. So if you've got one player and you do a contract for him, you're likely to earn £5,000 per year from a player in League One. But bearing in mind two things: one, hopefully you have more than one player, and two, normally that contract's for 3 to 4 years. So you can comfortably say that over a period of 4 years that you're going to earn £20,000 from that one particular player. So the secret is to have good quality players who are going to continue to bring you a series of income, and always recruiting. So, and one of the questions we get asked quite regularly is who pays the commission, and that goes in depth into the knowledge within the course. But very briefly, that commission is either paid from the player, the club, or sometimes they jointly pay it, and that goes into great detail of that when we come to the course. So let's assume you've moved on a bit and you've actually got yourself a championship player, which is a great position to be in. The average wage, contrary to what you might see in the news, is £8,000 per week, which means on an annual basis, if you've got a player in the championship, from that one player, you can earn an average of 20,000, 21,000 roughly per year from that player. You take that over 4 years, that's £80,000 from one particular player in the championship, and that's achievable within a certain period of time. We've brought people on who have started here and came to here very quickly through our knowledge and understanding. So if we're talking about where you go to the biggest level, and this is the level that we're operating out of, then again, you're seeing people earning £200,000 in the newspapers, and of course there's people earning that, but your average is £50,000 a week. If you get lucky enough, and I'm sure there's some out there that this will happen for them, because it's happened for people that we've brought into the industry, you would earn £130,000 commission per year per client. So if it's a 4-year deal, you're talking over £500,000 in commission. And this is general figures, and this is realistic after a set period of time. So most people start at League One or a wee bit below and build themselves up to get involved in the Championship and the Premier League. And these are fantastic rewards, and we can show you how you can get to these levels, because we have done it starting from there and got to there. Okay, so what have we covered? Hopefully you've got a bit of an idea about how you identify a player and recruit them, because you need the player, how you get to the clubs, and how you've got to be able to sustain dealing with the clubs, and how, as I say, my favourite bit is dealing worldwide with the net, because that is the way forward. That is the future. That's how you'll make lots of business, is through using your computer at your desk from your office or your home. So what we're proposing here, Phil, what we're proposing.
Again, this is us. This is getting to the nitty-gritty. I'd like to, again, we've introduced it. I'd like to just go a wee bit more further into it about how we can help the people on the webinar just now, the new agents, get involved in this dream career, and offer them this membership to a groundbreaking and unique situation. It's fully online, sharing our expertise, our 45 years combined with expertise. We're going to show them how to be a success in this business via this membership, create pathways for them, get you guys networking, get you guys talking to each other, going to fast track these, going to give you everything that you need, the support that you need to take you to that next step in your career. This career that can be fulfilling and lucrative, just the figures that John spoke about in the previous slide. This is all possible. It's all possible for everybody on this webinar. Meanwhile, the biggest thing here is you're learning from people who have been through it all, so it's going to save you that time and money. So it's a fantastic opportunity to get involved in this membership.
So let's talk about what you get from this membership, because I think this is really, really important that you please listen to this. This is probably the most important part of the webinar. when we're talking about the pro course, this is an online course to give you the rudimentary basics about understanding what the whole job's all about. Now, going back, we wrote this course actually 3.5 years ago with Phil, myself, my son, and my cousin, because we're all in the football industry, and because so many people were asking us, look, I want to become a football agent. I don't know how to get into the industry. There's no courses out there. The rules have changed. Anybody can become an agent. And we thought, well, we'll write this. And we actually started it as a bit of fun about 3.5 years ago. But subsequently, the demand was so much that we said, well, now we'll market this and then we'll start talking to people about it. And we've recruited fantastic people, which will come on to near the end. So what do you get within this online course? Well, background about the regulations. You need to understand the regulations before you come into this industry. We spoke about how to find a client identification, how you find the clients, how you identify them, and how you recruit them. That's a really important part, because the recruitment part, if you don't have any of these, then you're not going forward. Obviously, we spoke about dealing with clubs and how do you market a player, because a lot of people have the player and they've done really well at getting to them, but how do we market them? And that's in the course as well. The transfer windows, there's this misconception that you've only got 3 months to do business in January, June, July, August, in January. But this is throughout the full year, if you understand when the windows open. You open countries for Russia, for instance, in Russia, it's a bit later than the Middle East, and the Far East is different. So, of course, everybody knows about the European market, June, July, August, and January. But they're open year round, and we're teaching you how you can do business the whole year round. A lot of people don't really fully understand. And then, of course, one of the real important things, once you've got the player, and then you've got them to the club, and you've got to do this deal, and that is daunting, and that's a word I'd like to use, that is daunting. But we're teaching you what the exact steps that you have to take to get from when you walk into that boardroom to you walk out and you get the process of the deal, which is invaluable. Then, of course, the work permits and how you navigate them, bringing people in from abroad is very complex, but it's a fantastic subject within a module within our programme. And of course, when players come into the UK or wherever, and you're relocating them, they need time to settle in. You need to professionally be shown how to relocate them, because a big thing for them coming into a new country, maybe they can't speak the language. We teach you how you go through that particular process. And one of the other things that we've done straight from the first time we were in business in the last 25 years, and Phil, right from the beginning, we've opened the door to other intermediaries, because you need to be able to deal with other intermediaries in this current climate. There's another wee part in our modules that tells you how you deal with the press. You need to be able to handle the press. If you've got a big player, they'll be on to you every day. You need to understand how to deal with press, how not just you, your player as well. The international markets, we spent a good bit of time about, my favourite area, about how you can do business worldwide from your home. And one other thing that we teach people is that when you've got a client, to hold on to them, it's not just a case of identifying them, signing them up, getting them a contract. You then have to maintain the standards you've got to look after him. Otherwise, someone else will come and possibly take him away from you. We have a lot of commercial things that happen within the football industry. It's not just about the buying and selling of a player and doing their contracts. There's a lot of commercial opportunities in and around a football player. And again, it's a fantastic subject and one of the modules in the course. And one of the biggest things I know that Phil's really into is the internet marketing and your self-promotion, because as we said, you have to network. You have to let people know what you're doing, why you're doing it, who you are, and that's another part of this fantastic course. So that's one of the things that you're going to get when you join our community. So I'd like to speak just now, just for a wee minute, about a lad called Babatunde Elliott. You see, there's a story there about the doctor will see you now. That was only a few months ago. Baba's actually a really crazy football fan, and he came onto our course about just over a year ago. And basically, we had a chat, and after the course, he was in London, and we had a chat, and he said, John, look, I'm loving being a doctor, and I'm going to continue to be a doctor, but I've got enough time for both. I'd love to get out there and become a football agent. And we had a long chat about it. And Baba went to our Access Day, joined our Access Day as well, got the more knowledge when we were in QPR in London, and then decided to be involved with our company, and is now working with us and has been successful. He's a doctor and he's also working as a football agent. It was a wee bit different, but I have to tell you, he's balancing the COVID situation and selling players. But I don't even know if we can get Baba on the line. Is Baba there? Let's see if we can get to Baba, because he's an interesting guy, and we'll try to bring him on to have a wee two-minute chat. But to understand, this is for everyone and anyone, and here's an example of a doctor becoming a football agent, and he's football daft, and so much so, back in his home country, he's got a small
Baba.
football team that he represents. Hey, Baba, thanks for coming.
Yes.
I know we're
Thank you.
you're at your break and you say that you'll come on and have a wee informal chat. Look, it's just to let
Yes.
people know, you know, how you started from doing the course, and just a wee minute to let people know who you are.
All right. Thank you very much, John. Thank you, Phil, for having me. Can everyone hear me? John, Phil, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfect. Thank you.
Okay. I don't know. I think my video is on as well. I don't know if it's working.
Yes, you're okay. You're okay. You're fine, Baba.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So, well, my name is Batunde Elliott. I'm a medical doctor. I am training to become an orthopedic surgeon, a trauma surgeon. But football has always been my life. It's always been something I've always wanted to do. It's always been, actually growing up, I wanted to play football. But as an African and coming from an African home, it was almost impossible then for you to think that you want to play football. Everything was all about, you know, your books and all that. So fine, I went to school, did my due diligence, and to be fair, I didn't regret it. So 2014, I've always been looking for a way to kind of do the two things that I love, you know, being a doctor and being involved in football. So 2014, I started my own amateur club in Nigeria, and then I've been running it since then. But there was always something missing. It felt like I was just putting.
Oh, frozen. Baba, we've lost Baba there.
Oh, we've lost him.
He's just getting to a good bit as well. There's always something missing. He's in a hospital, that's why I think.
He's probably just so that's a shame.
We'll come back to Baba, because there's
Right.
another guy that I would like to see if he's around and have a wee chat about. And this is a lad called John Hannafin, and I'm just going to speak about John for a second. There's his picture. That's, believe it or not, John Hannafin. I'd just like to mention a couple of wee things about him. John came on. We've got Baba back. Hey!
Yeah, am I still on?
You're back on now. You were saying you were missing something, Baba.
yes, right. So I said, I felt like I was missing something, you know. So last year, or early last year, I met John, and we had a long conversation. And I said to him, I love being a doctor. I don't want to quit, you know, being a doctor, but at the same time, I want to be involved in football big time. And I took the course, went to the seminar at QPR, and trust me, guys, I've learned a lot. I cannot begin to tell you how much I've learned. In fact, I'm still learning. There are a few times that I will speak to John, and we would have a deal on the table, and I'll say, okay, this is what I want to do. And John will be like, well, I don't think this is the right way, but you know, if you do it this way, and immediately I'll be amazed, and I'll be like, wow, yeah, and I never actually thought of it from this angle. So my point is, even after, you know, taking the course, even after, you know, spoken to top clubs and all of that, I'm still learning. And I can tell you now that I'm just blessed to be doing two things that I love, being a doctor and also being a football agent. So it's been really amazing for me. And I cannot thank John and Phil enough for having me in the team and, you know, incorporating me without, I feel really at home with them. So yeah, it's been really wonderful. Really
Done, Baba. Brilliant.
Baba, fantastic. Get back to doctoring.
Keep it
Thanks
going.
for coming on. Thanks for coming on.
No worries. No
Thanks,
worries.
Baba.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Pleasure.
Nice.
So there's Baba. When we took him away from his lunch hour just to tell us a wee story about how he's came from being a doctor to being a football agent.
It's relevant, but it's very relevant because it shows your background. That's the most important thing.
So we're going to talk about John Hannafin. That was the first time we had a conversation about 15 months ago, I think, maybe a wee bit more, about John doing our course. And It's a great story, and maybe it's even better if we bring John in if he's around from if he's in Dubai. We'll try to catch him for a minute or two because I know he's a busy man between his business and doing football business in Dubai. But I've known John for a long time, and I had a wee chat with him about becoming an agent. Oh, there's John Hannafin, all the way from Dubai. A wee bit dark, John.
Can you see me? Let me move. Hang on a second. Sorry, let me move. That was just so you could see the view. There you go.
That's better. Lad. Put the light on the view. That'd make us jealous.
Wow.
You got some sunshine in the UK today?
It's actually 30 degrees in Scotland, which is very unusual. So, John, thanks for coming on today. We really appreciate it. We know you're a busy guy and you've got a lot on, but it's only a couple of minutes for you to speak to our over 800 people on our webinar. So if you want to have a wee chat with them, that would be magnificent. Oh,
you're looking younger every time I see you. It must be no stress in your life. I love it.
Sure. Good man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, good, John. So if you like
so listen, I'll give everyone a very quick overview of our very close relationship, Johnny. So yeah, it was about 16, 18 months ago, I think, when Phil was in Dubai to see some clubs and came in here to this office and asked me if I would be, if I could introduce him to anybody that might be interested in this course. And I said, well, what course are you talking about? And of course, John, we have known each other, John, from the time you were living in Dubai. Yeah. And, I'm like my 10-year-old, I'm a football fanatic, but, I run my own business here and didn't really have time to think. And again, you said it very well earlier in your statement. You think being a football agent is so unobtainable or unachievable that, I wouldn't have even thought about it, even though I knew you and knew other people in the business. But, I hadn't really thought about it until Phil, lovely Phil, he had more hair at that time, until Phil came in and sat down in the office and said, listen, we've got this course, this is what we're going to do, etc., etc. And of course, I immediately said, listen, what about me? Can I, I'd be really interested in it. It wasn't long after that then that I was in Monaco, which was that little tricky picture that you just put up there, Jono, that we met each other and sat down and had a chat. So I jumped onto the online course, the certificate, hugely interesting. I mean, and again, if you're a football fan of any sort, you're going to really enjoy the certificate course. So I nipped through the course. I did it in life and family permitting. I did it in a few months. It was at that point then I spoke to both of you and I said, listen, how can I do this? How can I try this to see does it work whilst doing my other job at the same time? And that's what was most important for me. I said, look, I can't be Mino Raiola, overnight, but I can be mini Raiola, in a couple of months. And that's when I guess you guys put it into my head and said, listen, John, we need somebody, we need a good contact in the Middle East. We need good contacts in the Middle East. There's 14 strong teams here in the Arabian Gulf League. I've been here 15 years in Dubai and I know a lot of people. So it was high time really that I got involved in an industry that I loved. But it doesn't take me away from earning my salary, but it does potentially in the future take me away and put me into an industry where I could earn a lot more. Now, again, it's not necessarily about earning a lot more, but we guys, we talk once a week. And when we talk about, potentially what we can do and players, European players and South American players coming into the Middle East and the potential of players from the Middle East going the other direction, it's massively exciting. Anyway, long story short, how long? It was like 6 months after the certificate course and mid-mentoring with both you guys that we signed our first player here in the Middle East, a player in the local league. And that in itself was a massive achievement for me. I mean, it might as well have been Julio Salinas I signed, you know what I mean? It was irrespective. It's a massive deal. We're now negotiating with our second very, very big name over here. Yeah, I mean, things have jumped forward really, really quickly. And it's not, as you said earlier, it is very important to network. I mean, okay, it's very difficult now with the current crazy times, but networking is very, very important. And then, authenticity, shall we say, is important as well, to get to know the clubs over here, to go and speak to them and say, listen, this is who I am and what I'm doing. And where is my, eventually, if you do it right, you'll end up with one of these 451 business cards that says consultant Middle East. And it's been fantastic for me. And it's even helped my own business, dare I say, because, you know, I will be talking about what we do over here, different financial services. And clients would say, listen, I see all these logos about football clubs, about local league. Are you doing something in sports? And it's very rare that people are not interested in football. And even in whatever business I'm discussing, I said, well, actually, listen, I qualified as a FIFA agent 12 months ago. I did this course. I registered with the FA. I'm speaking to local clubs over here. I signed my first professional player here with the local club in Dubai 8-9 months ago. And everybody immediately finds it really, really interesting. So, you know, in no way is there a negative aspect to it. As long as you have the time and energy to get on the course, study the course, finish it, and then listen to what you guys have to say. I mean, okay, sometimes I need subtitles when Mr. Viola is talking, but, you know, we get through that.
What a journey. Great journey, John. Amazing.
John,
but it's been great. It's been great.
Brilliant. John, that's fantastic. We're now moving on to our next part about, you know, who this works for. So I really appreciate you coming on for it. I know through your busy day, John, that's brilliant. I really appreciate it.
Thanks,
right.
John. Thank you.
We'll speak to you soon. All right, now, hopefully that gave you a couple of wee insights to a couple of people. We talked about Richie before who didn't have any contacts whatsoever. A guy that's a doctor, a guy that's a businessman. But who does this work for? Because that's 3 examples. This works for everyone and anyone. And I'll give you a couple of examples. We've brought on a student who's now working with Premier League players, a barman who's now doing business at the highest level. We've got a guy who's actually working in our office full time who was a shopkeeper and came onto our course, who done the access day and has now moved on to actually working with us. So what are we looking for? We're looking for people who have got the right desire. That's one of the biggest things, because there's no sense in just playing at this. If this is something you really have the passion for and you really want to work in an industry that you love, then this is for you. And then a lot of reason why people don't get started, you may be sitting saying, well, wait now, it's, you know, it's really difficult. You need you need that bond, or you need to do tests, or that's all gone, as we explained. There's a lot of people worried about getting the expertise, but we provide the expertise within our course and further mentoring. And they think, oh, well, now, how long is it going to take to do this? We're fast tracking people into this, and because you need to be able to get the knowledge that we provide to fast track you to a certain level. So this is what you're going to get from the Pro Agent course. But here's also what you're going to get. I'd like to add on. We've spoke about what's on the course, which is magnificent on it alone. I'd like to tell you about all these other areas now, which is really important. We've developed a thing recently called the Deal Makers Forum. And for somebody starting out in this business, they're thinking, well, how do I actually get to know who's doing deals and how to do them and where they're done? And we have got an exclusive forum, and it's a group that we bring you into to bring you together with experienced agents. We're on it every day, and experienced agents and students at the same level as you, like John's on it and Baba and people who have done the business, to understand what they're doing day to day and to interact with them and share and collaborate business and grow together and grow their own agencies or their own businesses or whatever it may be, and help them with access. This is a major thing, access to our professional network. And let me tell you something else that we add in is that we help people access to our specialist legal department. And I have to emphasize how strong and how much this really would mean to you as a student. When we first started, we didn't know what the contracts were. We didn't understand the deals between clubs, how that contract looked like. We didn't understand what the contract was like to sign up a player. The legal part costs a lot of time and effort and money. And this is a massive thing for new students starting out. We take care of that within our in-house sports lawyer, which is so valuable, you wouldn't believe it. And it helps you get regular access to what the contracts and agreements look at. So that's something that's nobody I know does this, but it's something fantastic for yourself. And then, of course, we've got a platform that we're evolving. And Phil would like to talk about that. I think that's the platform he's involved in quite a lot.
again, even just to go back up the wee bit of that legal stuff, that's a massive, massive thing. And again, even through your representation contracts, once you've done all the hard work of getting someone, you need to have the right advice, you need to have the right protection there in place. And like John says, having access to a sports lawyer, education sports lawyer, then it's a massive, massive opportunity. And that's all part of this evolving platform that we've created. I mean, it's all online, which is brilliant. You can do it from your mobile phone, which is brilliant, or your laptop if you're on the train. It's a central point with lessons. We'll be doing lessons on a weekly basis or video lessons. Depends. There'll be different things coming in. We'll have other experts coming in to help you guys, the students that are part of the membership, where they can learn from other aspects of the industry, whether it's scouting or the lawyer or even from clubs, different ways. It's going to be constantly updated. That's why it's a membership basis. It's going to be constantly updated on a monthly basis, where it's that recurring information that's going to help you guys get to that next stage in your career. It's so exciting, obviously, to be part of it. It's really exciting, and we're delighted that there's people here interested in it.
So let's get to business, because people are sitting saying, "Oh, I love all this. I want to become an agent," but there's a cost to all these areas we spoke about. So what you're going to get, you're going to get access to our course with a recognised industry certificate. And I may add that people have done our course and they've got jobs from just using our 25 years experience certificate of Phil and I, or 45 years, sorry. As Phil discussed, and that'd be £500. As Phil discussed, we've got a platform that's evolving week to week, month to month, where ongoing you're going to understand and get regular information about how you are taken by the hand and understand what the football industry is all about, and alleviate you from somebody else starting in the industry, helping you to have more information that's going to get you to become an agent much quicker. Our deal maker forum we love, because there's nobody else doing that we know. We're bringing everybody together, and you openly can discuss with Phil and people like ourselves about what the business is all about, and you'll learn so much from that when you're involved in the deal makers forum. And the biggest area, again, the lawyers, if you don't have to have any lawyers' fees or anything involved with that, we will take you through what it takes to be involved in the legal parts, which we didn't have at the beginning, and we want to show you how you get all that. Now, if you add all that up, it costs £6,000, but we're not going to charge you £6,000. We're going to charge you £99 a month, and I'm going to tell why in a minute. So if we go back through this again, it's your access to the course, which we've discussed in detail, and all the 16 modules involved in it. The platform, which you'll get information about week to week and month to month, and I say help you grow and bring into the industry. The Deal Makers Forum, where you're going to get interesting information about doing deals, and obviously helping you with the legal department. So as I say, the total value, that's £6,000, but we're creating a community for people who really need to get into this industry, who want to get into the industry but can't afford it, for £99 a month. And I'm going to tell you the main reason for that at the end of this webinar.
Amazing. That's, to me, amazing opportunity to get involved and have access to all that information. And just to sweeten it even more, we're also going to give the first 50 sign-ups the opportunity to access our free Scouting Partners course, the IPSO course, which will teach you the fundamentals and the foundations of scouting players. Again, that's done online. It'll take you a couple of hours to get through. It's relative to people starting out. Fantastic opportunity just to sweeten the pot to get involved. And even on top of that, John and I are so confident with what we've done, what we've developed, where we're at, our experience, that we're taking the risk out of this for you guys as well. We want you guys to get involved with us, that we're going to give you our total satisfaction guarantee, where if you don't see the value in the membership within 30 days, then we'll give you your money back, no questions asked.
Okay, well, look, I'd just like to finish off, Phil, here, just because we're coming to the end of the webinar, and just explain why we're talking about £99 a month. And it's quite simple, because there's a motivational factor from us, because £99 a month for somebody for what we're doing doesn't even cover anywhere near what we're all about. And the time and the effort and the 45 years of experience, and we could go on and on and on. But we want to build up a community. So we're going to recruit people from this community. People like Baba, who a year and a bit ago didn't realise he'd be a fully fledged football agent. Richie, who knew nothing about the business, has now got 11 clients and 15 new players and 11 clients. And we're talking about John Hannafin, who thought this is a great idea. He's now running our Dubai office. And there's many, many more like him worldwide. What we want to do is develop people to become fully fledged agents and then work alongside us and share business going forward. That's our motivation, because we've genuinely want to pass on what we've got out of this industry, which has been amazing. We want to pass it on to you so that you'll be sitting here. And there is some in here that are going to be sitting in the next 6 months to a year saying, I'm so glad I went in that webinar. I'm so glad I joined that community, because we're going to make you into football agents. And we're really looking forward to it. So if you would like to join the Babas and the Johns and the Richies of this world and the hundreds more that have been involved with our agency, then I would like you to click on the button below, and then you'll be with us throughout this journey of making you a fully fledged agent. There you go, Phil. That's my wee story. I love it.
No, that's it, guys. That's the end of the webinar. We've took you through our journey, our story, who we are, where we've been, what we're all about, what we want to do, why we're doing it. Go and get your membership signed up. £99 a month with the total satisfaction guarantee. Brilliant way for you guys to get started, and we're really excited about seeing you online. But now we're going to do another wee Q&A as well. There's a 15 minutes that we've put on the clock here. There's loads of questions that have came in on top of some other questions that'll be there. So we'll start that 15 minutes while you guys are joining up, and we'll get through them as much as we can, or as many as we can.
Okay, here's a question I'd like to answer right away, but it's a wee bit separate from what we're talking about today, but I think it's really important. There's a young lad saying he wants to do a degree after leaving sixth form. We actually have an educational department where we help people, and we've wrote the first one in the world, master's degree to become an intermediary. So just to let you know, if you go into our site, you'll see that. Another question, which is most people ask right away, and it's come up, is how long does it take to do the course? Well, we've had people that have taken 6 months, and we've people that have taken 6 days. I had a guy recently who said, look, I loved it that much. It was like a Netflix program. I went from episode to episode or module to module. And he says, and I really, really enjoyed it. So it's roughly 30 hours of learning, and everybody does it at your own pace. You can start it, you can finish it. So that's a big question I've got here. And here's another question. How long was the process to become an agent for you, John and Phil? Well, you know, it took us a bit longer than it could take you. It took us years to become professional agents, but we're showing people and fast tracking, like your Babas and Johns, that within a year, if you're the right person, you could be doing business within this industry with the right education, with the course, and with our continued help.
Just a quick question there as well about the membership and subscription. Obviously £99 a month. This is a recurring payment that's because of the value within the course. That each course there'll be more content coming on. We're going to be adding things onto the course that we've created with the video lessons as well as the access to other people. So this is an ongoing process, an ongoing journey that we want you people to be part of, because it won't happen overnight. There's a process there put in place, and we want to see you in the Dealmaker Forum on a regular basis. Go to the next level where you see the value, go to the next level where this is going to be the start and the end of your process, which again, we're really excited about.
And I'd like to welcome Jack. Jack's all signed up. Well done, Jack. I look forward to working with you in the future, some shape or form.
Another quick thing. Again, the course, the scouting course we've put on there is an entry-level, foundation-level course for scouting. Some people have maybe already done scouting courses in the past, that they don't need that. That's just an additional sweetener to the pot. The value is really still in the £99 a month that we're providing. So the first 50 will still get that. Really, whether you want it or not, it's there. That's our offer for today. Okay, there's Darren there as well. Just signed up. Thanks, Darren, for joining us. You'll be part of the community when you've done your course. I'd love to see that. Well done, Darren. Somebody's asking here about how hard is it to make connections in the clubs and how to approach the clubs to establish a connection. We briefed on that, but really it's difficult. But we're showing you within the course and the secrets how you do that, because so many people fail because they don't know how to get to clubs.
But we have got within the course, it tells you all about that in that section or that module.
Yeah. Just a quick one as well. I touched on it earlier on as well. Quick question that I can see it now in the chat as well. Is it starting at the lower levels? Fantastic way to start in the business, no matter what. It's great to work at the top level with the big players, but our advice is always you're going to be starting at a lower level unless you're sitting on a client, unless you're sitting on a family member or someone who's a friend of yours. You can go, I can do the business with these guys. That's a fantastic opportunity. But normal agents starting out are starting at a lower level to cut their teeth. And that's where they can get the experience to go forward through our training and education to take them to that next level.
And again, people are asking how many months would it take? You know, everybody's different. Some people, we've had a guy that came on, and this is really interesting, very recently, onto the course, done the course. He was so enthusiastic. He actually moved from another country to London, and he has signed up an international player already and working alongside us. And right now, we think we've got him a club to be signing in the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's been a bit slower than normal because of COVID. We'd normally been signed. So here's somebody within 3 months who's come on the course, signed an international player, and in his existing country, and now we're taking to a club in the championship. So I think that the big thing I'd like to just remind people what they're getting again, because it's, some people come up and you go through, they missed the slide, maybe it was a bit slow, maybe didn't get my accent. I'll just tell you here what you're going to get. You're going to get access to our course, and people don't realise, they're thinking, right, the course, £99, it's hard to maybe take on board, but remember, we're building a community for longer term business. They're talking about the course, which has got 16 modules, which we all discussed about how fantastic that would be. At the end of it, you get a certificate. People have got jobs with this course because of a 45 years experience and recognised in the industry. We've got the platform, which is constantly evolving, which every day we're improving the platform so that you can go on and get enough information to help you fast track into the industry. The Deal Makers Forum, I have to say, that's our baby, because nobody else is involved with something like that, where we're bringing in brand new students straight into the industry and getting to see what's going on with existing students as well, but also experienced students, as I say, like myself and Phil and other experienced agents, but also to be speaking to people like Baba and John and Richie. So that's something that we think is fantastic in it. And again, I can't emphasize enough having that legal background so that you're not spending too much money, you're not getting tripped up with legalities of having the right contract or contracts between clubs or the contract with the FA. We have all of that ready for you for coming into our forum and also our whole situation of our network.
John, like you touching on what you said, again, the very end, very potent message at the end. A lot of people are asking why are we educating, why are we sharing, why are we opening doors for people, why are we passing on our knowledge to create competition for people? And it's so far from the truth, where we're educating people because we want to empower people to ultimately work alongside us and learn from us. Do you know what I mean? As part of this community where we can say as a bit of a legacy that we've helped people in the next rung of the ladder. Obviously, we've been involved for this a long time, but the gates are open anyway. Anybody on this course here or this webinar could go and become a football agent. What we are providing is the tools and the right information and the practicalities of being an integral agent with the right ethos behind the knowledge to do that. We are giving people that expertise that they need to be a success if they want to be involved with people like us who have been successful. So yes, we're empowering people to become other agents, but it's like anything, it's going to come down to the individuals and how they can do the job.
Phil, I've got a great question here from Luke Taylor. He's been trying to get it out, and Luke, I'd like to answer this for you. It says here, do you need to, before you go and speak to a big international, a big name player, do you need to do the course? Well, we would recommend that, of course, because you go straight in to try and tell somebody what to do and what the business is when you've not really got any education. It's common sense that if you had somebody you could go and talk to, you'd be better having all the knowledge and information within the course. It will certainly put you in a better stead rather than walking in without that. It's a good question, but then basically that's something I would recommend highly. Okay.
Another question here. what deals are we working on just now, John?
Well, I'd
I
love
know
to
you're
tell
not
you.
going to name names, but again, I think it's pivotal to know that, like we've said, this is we love this business, we love the education part of the business, but our day-to-day job is dealing with football clubs and dealing with clubs at the highest level. And like I said today, even the lowest level, it's football, it's football. And without naming names, again, John, I think you were on the phone to a Premier League club this morning about a player in England. I spoke to a club in the Scottish Premier League. This is our bread and butter about doing transfers, and that's why we can share that information with you guys to empower you to go forward.
I think it's a good point, Phil. You're asking. Listen, from all around the world, we're trying to bring players into mainly into the UK. But the big thing is when people are trying to teach people something that's normally teachers or or university lecturers. This is the exact opposite. As soon as we come off this webinar, I've got a list of clubs to call and clubs and the players to speak to. We're at the sharp end. We have to do deals the same as you'd have to do deals. So you're learning from us as we're currently doing the business. And that's why it's fantastic for the people that are joining just now, because they'll be able to do business or know about what's going on in the transfer market, which is now going into October, which is great. So the people that are joining just now in the community and doing the course will be involved with exactly what's going on with our platform in the transfer market currently, which is unbelievable. I wish I'd have had a tenth of what we were talking about when I started in this industry. But coming back to why we're sharing it, because we've got a vested interest. We want you to make it to the same level as the other guys, because you're going to share business with us going forward, and that's what we're interested in.
Okay, again, let's go over, because some people a wee bit of clarity. This is a subscription-based membership for people who are serious about being football agents and want to learn. They want to learn about our information within our course. They want to be part of the Dealmaker Forum. They want to see and learn from the sports law and the experts that are going to come on. This is a £99 a month subscription-based, where it'll be a recurring fee that you can cancel at any time if you're not happy with the service. So we believe that you will be happy with it because of the content that will be coming on it. We believe that you'll be excited with what's going to be on it on a monthly basis, that you won't want to cancel it, but just to reaffirm that it's a subscription model on a recurring basis.
On the money side, Phil, somebody's asked there a question that what the £99 is, that's VAT inclusive, so you're not getting charged VAT on top of that. So I thought that's a very important point, but some people in business and they want to know what the situation there is. So,
and again, if I can answer,
Rui's asked a question again. We got asked it quite a lot. I'm very interested, but I'd like to know how long the course would take. I'll let you know, Rui, again. Maybe you didn't hear the last one. Basically, it can take a week or it could take 3 months, 6 months. It depends. It's at your own leisure. But after the course, it's really important that there's continued development and learning from our platform. And that's the part after it that we provide to make sure you're not just left with a course and then thought, right, I'm out in the cold here. We're going to show you how to go forward and regularly learn what the business is all about, which nobody does.
A wee quick one here. Personally, when I registered and became an agent at the time when I passed my examination, although John being a family member and making his way in the business, I wanted to do my own stuff. And at the time when I first started out, I was working, my first deal was actually a part-time player who got dropped out of Glasgow Rangers. He wasn't good enough, he was too small, but then it was a part-time club that actually signed him, and the boy then went on to be semi-successful thereafter. So there's always a starting point for people. You've got to think about the big picture whilst you're learning about your starting journey.
Another great question, Phil. Somebody's asked, will there be an access day when the pandemic is finally over? Well, the answer to that is yes. We had an access day, which is basically a day of further education and getting to meet us personally and interact with great panellists with Les Ferdinand and Paul McVeigh at the last one. And for us, it's a great day to get to actually find out what the business is all about face to face. I know with the pandemic and COVID, it's difficult just now. We had it booked for March, but it's now we're hoping to try and do it sometime in September. It was in Manchester, at Manchester United Football Ground. So now we're hoping to be able to release what date that would be. So it's a good question, but we'll let you know soon. Okay, and here's somebody from Ghana. Somebody says he's setting up a sports university in Ghana and working with the university in Ghana to run sports courses, and he would like to understand it. We were actually in Ghana 3 times last year, so we know a lot about what's happening down there, and there's some fantastic talent. And because of the talent, there's so many people who want to understand how to become football agents. And again, we're in the process of sorting that out. Another question which we mentioned in the course, but hopefully I will just answer it again. How many modules is there in the course? There's 16 modules. They're online, and you can do them at your own leisure. It says here from Zakaria, is there any examination? Well, there's a small examination after each module, but it's basically to make sure that you've read the courses. It's not like a super difficult examination. Someone says, is it possible to fail the course? We haven't had a failure yet. I mean, sometimes some people took it 2 or 3 times. I went through a certain module once or twice. So most people are fine with it. And
let's review what you're going to get for £99 a month. To be honest, you're going to get our pro course with 16 modules in it, based on the fundamentals of being a football agent. You're going to get access to a dealmaker forum where you're going to get to network and potentially do business with the right people of the right mindset that have been qualified by John and myself. You're going to get access to the sports law department as well. You're going to get video lessons from different people and experts within the industry. It's going to be an interactive membership that we can only see value in it for people who are wanting to start in this business. It's an unbelievable opportunity to get involved, and I say we're excited. We just want to see you in there.
I've got a really good question here. I need to answer it. It's from Oluyemi Ogunsenyin from Lagos State, Nigeria. I know he's a reporter. He's a good guy. I've spoken to him a couple of times in the past, but a big question you really need to answer is, how do agents make money from transfer deals? Well, as we explained, Oluyemi, we make commission based on what the earnings are from the player, and it's normally 5%. And again, that's paid either by the club, the player, or a combination of both. And he's asking here, and I have to answer this because it's something that's been asked to me before. How can intermediaries and scouts also make money from transfer deals? Scouts don't make money from transfer deals. They work for the club, or they work for a club. So we've never been involved with any scouts making money from the transfer deals, Oluyemi. I hope that answers the question.
Zakaria, quick question, quick answer, sorry. The whole barriers are down. You can become an agent. There's no examinations with FIFA. Certain associations, like France and different countries, depending where you are based, may ask you to do some sort of test. But as a whole, the deregulation of agents was in 2015, which opened up these barriers for people to move forward within this sector.
We're up for our questions, but you know what, Phil? I think we should spend a wee bit more time, because again, some great questions here, and I could answer questions all day in this industry because I'm just enthusiastic about it. But this guy, Craig, has asked, is it usually 5% commission on all earnings, including marketing and sponsorship, or does that differ? That differs. So take away 2 separate areas. One, you do the deal and you get commission paid. And then the marketing area, where you're maybe getting, say, for somebody, a book contract or an advertisement deal or whatever, that's paid separately. So it's 2 areas of income. If you're lucky enough to have a player who is doing an ad, and then you would be getting a percentage of that commercially, and that varies depending on the contract you've got with a player. A very good question, I have to say. Definitely a good question.
If you're working in different countries, again, with the regulations, you need to be registered in individual countries. Wherever you're doing the business, you'll need to be registered, whether it's Italy or France or the UK. But everybody's rules and associations are different, so you need to speak to the local football association of the country that you're involved in. But yes, if you're doing business, there will be a format for you to register. Some, for example, in England, they charge £500 plus VAT just to register to be a football agent. For someone who's got no education or no information to implement, what we are providing is the actual technicalities of being a football agent and how you can implement it into becoming a successful one before you even go and start signing up to these associations.
I'd like to just say, well done, Harvey. Harvey Walker, I'm looking forward to working with you. It's here, Phil, and Gary Ward, Craig Haslam and Christopher Howard. They're coming in thick and fast. So that's brilliant. I can't go through all these names because it's just the amount of people that are signing up. A fantastic thing a lad said to you is how many have been through the course to date. You've had over 1,000 people who have come through the course. But this community that we're building is new. This is a completely different way that we're doing this business. So you'll be one of the first ones involved in this community that we're building.
Listen, just seeing there's no many spaces left in the first 50. So if you're thinking about that opportunity to get involved with the scouting course, then make sure you get yourselves involved. If there's any problems or anything with registration, please let us know as well. But if it doesn't work, let's get a message into the chat and we'll get someone to contact you.
Okay, you're at some Shafiq Ramadi is asking, do we have to pay anything extra for the course? No, the course is within the £99 a month. That's included within that, believe it or not. So you don't have to pay any more. Someone else says, where do you hold access day and what do the costs? Well, depending on how many days. Sometimes it's 1 day, sometimes it's 2. The last ones were in London, but the next one's going to be in Manchester, we know, and it will vary. We can keep you up to date with that one, and that's Amin Ali. We'll keep you up to date with that. This is a great question, and I'd love to be able to help you with this one tomorrow. And it's Olga Krupski. And it says, will you personally assist me with any transfers and deals if I subscribe to this membership? If you're getting to a level where you're involved with transfers, that's what we're here for. We're here to assist you. This is part of what the community is about. It's not a case of a course. You do the course and you're in the community and we forget about you. You ask us how to be able to do the job, to move your player or assist you in the contract. Then, and again, I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, Olga Krupski, then this is a part of the reason why we're doing this. For people like you who don't know what they're doing and don't understand, we're here to take you by the hand and to help you with it. Someone else is saying, where is the course taken? I will reaffirm, and this is Shafiq Ramdani. The course is online, so it's not taken anywhere. It's online on your computer, or your phone, whatever suits you. And the minimum age of joining the course, with someone as young as 17, so the course can start from 16 onwards. So that's a very good question. I've never had that one before, but we have had a lad that started recently, joined at 17. And here's someone saying he urgently wants to sell his player now.
Remember, guys, we're giving you an opportunity here to be part of a community. Even on the course, you complete the course, you'll be invited into the Dealmaker Forum where you'll be able to introduce yourselves, talk about what you've got, network with other people within the forum, reach out to John and myself. It's a one-stop shop for getting people involved and interacting in a community way about being best practice and about how to accelerate each other going forward. So you obviously act myself and John, but even the other agents or new agents on there as well. It's a great way to learn. Even if I take it back to my Spanish, when I started learning Spanish, I started learning in a group of beginners. And you listen to what other people are saying, you pick up from different people. So it's like that. Well, we're the experts there on it as well. You'll see what other people are doing as well, and you maybe get some ideas. So that's what the forum's all about, as well as watching the lessons and things that are going to help you as you go along your pathway as an agent.
Here's Phil, Zakaria to all panelists. So what does the £99 include? Only the online courses, or does it give access to your legal department? I'll reaffirm, it's a massive part that you get access out with the course to our legal department, which again is unbelievable for students that are starting. They don't have to worry about legal costs through our in-house legal department. Okay.
Coaching background, always great, because if you've got a knowledge of football, brilliant. It's great to have that kind of technical side of the game. Ultimately, it's not required. It's a skill set that you can transfer into being a football agent. But it definitely help, of course, as long as you've got the education that we're providing here, and obviously the mannerisms to go forward with it. So the coaching is good.
Right, okay, we've got lots of questions rolling in. Right, okay, maybe I think it'd be good just to again, people are asking this the continued question. I think if we could get what we actually get for your £99 a month, just to remind people again, Phil, because there's 3 or 4 people asking the same question, and again, maybe we went through that particular slide quite quick. So we'll get that back up in a minute. We'll get that up in the next minute or two. Okay, here's another question. It says here from Luke Taylor, who's obviously asking a lot of questions. Have you had players refer other players to use an agent? Of course, it's a massive part of the business. Look, you do the job, it's like any industry. If you look after that player, you do the job honestly, ethically, and correctly, he'll be sitting in the dressing room. It's your best area to do business, because he'll be sitting saying, look, my agent's a good guy, he's honest, he's decent, he's done a great job for you, he's your next client. So referrals is a massive part of the business, Luke, and it's a great question. I'm glad that you asked it. Okay. So the access, how do you access the scouting course when you're signed up? Then again, we'll get once you've got your email and you've signed up, we'll send you the access code for that. That's a good question as well. Any other questions there that you'd like to ask? Keep them coming just before we finish. Oh, it says, do you have to worry about players' expenses or healthcare insurance when he has no club contract? I would suppose the healthcare insurance depends on which country you're in, Zakaria. If he's in the UK, you don't have that problem, but if he's abroad, that's one of the things we recommend that the club pay for. And expenses.
With regards to the scouting course, for those that have signed up, we'll get in touch with you with regards to getting your link set up for that. So main thing is for you to get involved in the membership of the John Viola Academy. We've got your details and we'll reach out to you with that information.
Okay, I think we're coming to the end now. There's a lot of questions still coming in, but we're getting to the end of the situation here of this webinar. I'd really like to thank everybody for coming on today. And there's a lot of people here, and say, get back out in the sun, enjoy yourself. And I'm really looking forward to the ones that have signed up to be joining our group and our network and our whole situation about you becoming a football agent. I'm really looking forward to it. Phil?
Yeah, great. Again, I'm sorry, I'm concentrating on these other questions that are coming through, but obviously I think we could be there all day. Again, the journey that we've been on, we're trying to share with you guys. We want to be involved. We want to help you, take you to that next level. It's great that you've came on board. It's great that you've stayed this long, almost an hour and a half out of your day. So thanks for doing that. We really appreciate it. And again, we look forward to seeing you on the inside.